Okay, I want you to picture a dragon.
Yeah.
Right now. Just
Yeah.
first image that hits your brain. What do you see?
Oh, smog. 100%. It's got to be smog. Benedict Cumberbatch's voice, sitting on a literal mountain of gold.
Exactly. Breathing fire, waiting for a hobbit to come steal something.
Yeah, for most of us who grew up on Western stories, the dragon is. It's the ultimate monster. It's the obstacle.
It's the thing you have to slay to get the treasure.
Right. And this is where we have to completely flip the script for today's deep dive. If you pivot to the east.
And well, the dragon is not a monster.
Yeah.
Not even close.
It's something else entirely.
It's a symbol of pure, vital energy. I mean, it represents the creative will. It's the engine, not the enemy.
And that reframing is so critical because today we are diving into what might be one of the oldest books in history, the I Ching. But we're not trying to tackle the whole thing.
No way. We're zooming in with a microscope on just chapter 1, the creative, or Qian.
And I think we need a big disclaimer right at the top here. Yes, absolutely. I can almost hear people thinking, oh, great, horoscopes. We are not doing fortune telling today. This isn't about superstition.
No mysticism. We're treating this as an archetypal psychological model. Think of it less like a crystal ball and more like a map of the psyche.
It's a blueprint. It describes, with surgical precision, what happens to your internal structure when you enter a really high-intensity state of growth.
So it predicts patterns of behavior, not lottery numbers.
Exactly. And it all centers on this one core question that I found fascinating and asks, what happens when you stop outsourcing your destiny?
When you stop blaming luck or waiting for permission and just decide to take, 100% responsibility for your life?
That is the essence of Qian. It's a test of pure willpower. Some people call it war mode. And this map says that journey unfolds in 6 very distinct stages.
And if you're at all ambitious, you are going to recognize yourself in one of these stages. It's almost terrifyingly accurate.
It really is. So should we dive in? Stage 1.
Let's do it. We start at the very bottom. The source calls this the hidden dragon.
The imagery here is fantastic. Think of a drawn bowstring. The arrow's knocked. The string is pulled all the way back. There's incredible tension.
But the fingers haven't released the arrow yet. So from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. It's static.
Static on the outside, but inside. It's massive potential energy. This is that unrecognized genius phase. You feel this huge impulse, this vision. You just know deep down, I have something to offer.
But the world has no idea who you are.
None. And that's the conflict. It's pure cognitive dissonance. Your internal voice is screaming, I am a giant. But the world's feedback is just silence.
That sounds like a really dangerous place to be mentally.
It is. Because the temptation is to just start shouting, right?
Yeah.
To prove how smart you are. But the model warns you not to do that. You can't show your hand too early.
So what's the trap then? Because that energy has to go somewhere.
The trap is the victim. It's so easy to slide from I'm waiting strategically to the world is unfair and nobody gets me.
Ugh, the bitter basement dweller monologue.
You got it. And to avoid that, the source has this incredible piece of advice. It's called the fast of silence.
This part fascinated me.
It's a discipline. So say you're in a meeting and you get that burning urge to jump in, correct someone, show off.
To get that little hit of validation.
Yes. The advice is, don't. Choose silence on purpose. And feel that pressure build up, and instead of letting it out for cheap applause, turn it inward. Use it to actually get better at what you do.
So you're pressurizing your own engine instead of just blowing the whistle.
Great analogy. And you know you've graduated from this stage when you stop needing to prove yourself. You actually start to enjoy being underestimated. That's when you're ready for stage 2.
Okay, moving up. Stage 2.
The field dragon.
The apprentice in the arena.
Yeah.
You've released the arrow. You're no longer hidden. Think. Luke Skywalker with his first lightsaber.
Yep.
You're on the radar now.
So you've got your first clients, or your project is getting some buzz, but I'm guessing that brings a whole new set of problems.
Oh, yeah. The big one. Imposter syndrome. Because now you have something to lose.
And you're visible. You're thinking, wait, what if they find out? I'm just making this up as I go. You feel totally exposed.
The source has a specific line here. It says, it furthers one to see the great person. That sounds like mentorship.
It is, but it's more than just finding a cheerleader. You need reality testing. You need a master, someone who's walked the path to give you brutal, honest feedback.
To tell you where you're delusional.
Exactly. But there's a track here, too. The shadow of this stage is the people pleaser.
You start saying yes to everything because you're addicted to the new attention.
And you risk losing your own voice. You just become a cheap copy of your mentor. So the advice is to find the no and, interestingly, to de-idolatize your master.
See their flaws, so you don't put them on a pedestal forever.
Right. You graduate when you stop mimicking and start adding your own signature.
Okay, so you've got your sea legs, you're in the game. Then comes stage 3, the vigilant dragon.
Welcome to the grind.
The archetype is Sisyphus and the blacksmith. It sounds exhausting.
It is. This is where most people quit. The debut is over. The cheering has stopped. It's just you and the hammer, day after day.
The source calls this high-functioning anxiety. It says if resting feels like a crime, you're probably in stage 3.
And that's the danger zone for burnout, for sure. But the text argues it's necessary. It's psychological alchemy.
Sure.
You're not just working. You're literally rewiring your brain.
You're making excellence an instinct, not a choice.
Exactly. You are killing the lazy version of yourself. But the trap is romanticizing it, becoming the martyr.
The person who wears their exhaustion like a badge of honor. Look how much I'm suffering.
Yeah, that's a dead end. The goal isn't to suffer, it's to forge capacity. So the advice is to create a demilitarized zone.
I love that term, a mandatory no-work zone.
A psychological neutral ground. And you have to reframe rest. Think of a Formula One car.
Right. It pulls into the pit stop not because it's lazy, but so the engine doesn't explode.
It's strategic maintenance. And you know you're done with the stage when you hit diminishing returns. When working harder just doesn't produce more.
You've hit a ceiling.
And that brings you to the edge of the cliff. Stage 4. The leaping dragon.
This one sounds scary.
It's the scariest one in the whole process. The archetype is the trapeze artist. That moment, that horrible moment of suspension.
You've let go of the old bar, but you haven't grabbed the new one yet. You're just in the void.
And stage 3 was about more hours, more reps. This is a qualitative leap. You have to leave the safety of the known behind. And the terrifying part is, logic and data cannot help you here.
I feel like that's exactly what I'd want a spreadsheet.
But there's no data for a future you haven't lived yet. It has to be a leap of faith. And that, of course, leads to the trap.
Analysis paralysis.
The Hamlet trap, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. So the actionable advice is something called fear setting.
It's a stop-loss test.
Right. You write down the absolute worst-case scenario. If you jump and miss, what really happens?
You'll be embarrassed, maybe lose some money.
But it won't kill you. It won't send you to jail. Once you make the fear concrete, it loses its power, and you can make the leap.
And if you catch that new bar, you land in stage 5, the flying dragon.
This is it. This is the payoff. The archetype is the conductor.
This is flow.
Complete flow. You're not pushing the rock anymore. You're standing on top of the mountain, and resources and opportunities, they start chasing you.
But there's always a but, isn't there? The source says you no longer belong to yourself.
That's the burden of leadership. You become a symbol. Your mood affects the entire system. And the trap is obvious.
That tyrant.
Hubris, pure and simple. You start believing your own hype. You forget all the luck and help you had along the way. You stop listening.
So how do you stay grounded when you're flying that high?
The advice is to reconnect with line 2. Go back and mentor the apprentices. Find the field dragons who are just starting out.
And practice altruism. Is that just about being a good person?
It's functional. It's systemic hygiene. Energy has to circulate. If you hoard success, it stagnates and turns toxic. Giving it away keeps you humble and keeps the whole system healthy.
And if you don't, if you fall into the hubris trap?
You crash into the final stage, stage 6, the arrogant dragon.
The Icarus.
Flying too close to the sun. At this point, success becomes cancerous. You're expanding just to expand. You're fighting battles that don't matter.
The source says the phrase, "I am unstoppable," isn't a victory cry.
It's a red alert. It's the siren right before the crash. Because nothing in nature is unstoppable. The trap is just pure delusion.
Doubling down on what used to work, even though the world has changed.
The sunk cost fallacy on a massive scale. And the only way out is the graceful descent.
You have to learn subtraction, not addition.
You have to simplify, withdraw, let go. A true master knows when to walk away from the table. If you don't choose to descend gracefully, gravity will choose a destructive descent for you.
That's a powerful end to the climb. But the source makes a really crucial point about this whole model, this war mode. It's not a lifestyle.
That is the single most important takeaway. This whole hexagram is pure yang. It's 100% active creative force. By its very definition, it's unsustainable.
It's for a breakthrough, a startup,
A crisis.
Exactly. You can't live there. If you try, you either burn out or you become the arrogant dragon. The text is clear that this entire process is designed to lead you to what's next. Hexagram 2, the receptive.
The yin.
The yin. You have to move from doing to being, from solo conquest to collaboration, from pushing to allowing.
So this whole journey we just mapped, it's a test of readiness.
It asks a question. Are you truly ready to pay the full price of becoming yourself?
And maybe second question. Once you've paid it and you've won, do you have the wisdom to stop fighting?
That's the master's move.
That's the question I want to leave everyone with. If you're listening and you feel like you were in war mode, take a second, look at this map. Which dragon are you? Are you the hidden dragon, waiting for your moment? The vigilant dragon, on the grind? Or are you the leaping dragon, standing on that edge?
And maybe more importantly, if you've already won your war, do you know how to go home?
That's the hardest part.
Something to think about. That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you on the next one.